Hi! Have you ever Googled yourself? Just out of curiosity? Usually, you would find your social media accounts or a namesake from another state. But when I Googled my name, Eve Harper, I saw an article, Child Born at the Cost of Another Life. That was me. I became famous before I even took my first breath. The thing is, my mother was a famous oncologist. She was known and respected by everyone in our city. Mom's life was perfect. She had a loving husband, a little daughter, Liv, a cozy home, and a brilliant career. But then came the day when it all fell apart. Mom found out she was pregnant with me. And almost at the same time, she was diagnosed with cancer. She cured others of this disease, but couldn't save herself. Doctors urged Mom to start chemotherapy. They said that giving birth was too risky, that she should think about herself. But Mom thought about me. She refused treatment and chose to give birth to me instead. I am going to give life to this baby. Her story spread far beyond our town. People kept arguing. Was it heroism or madness? Mom died almost right after giving birth. Everyone said I was born at the cost of her life. Now, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Maybe one day you will tell your story here too. Well, let's continue. After all, that was just the beginning. Dad was left alone with 2 children and a broken heart. He loved Mom so much that after her death, he became an empty shell of himself. Liv was only 8, but had to grow up fast. Dad was still depressed, and it was my sister who took care of me. It's okay, I'm here, duckling. I knew what Mom looked like from her photos, and I knew what she smelled like because Dad refused to throw away her blouses. Dad didn't touch any of her things after she died. Mom's dressing table was still in their bedroom. Her shoes were still gathering dust in the hallway. It was as if Mom's ghost lived there with us. I missed her terribly, but I had Liv, and we were closer than ordinary sisters. She tried to replace our mom, even though she missed her too, and sometimes quietly cried at night. When I started school, I realized how unusual my family was. My classmates' parents brought them to school. Their mothers made them Halloween costumes and sat in the front rows at school events. But only Liv came to see me. Dad never showed up at school.
I don't have time for that. I need to work to provide for us.
But I could feel that it wasn't the only reason. And it turned out that it wasn't just me who felt it. A science fair was held once at my school. I tried really hard. Liv was cheering for me like I was the most important person in the world. All of a sudden, Tommy, my competitor, looked at me and smirked.
Your dad must hate you, Eve. That's why he didn't come.
What?
My parents told me that your mother died because of you. Everyone in town knows that.
The world swam in front of my eyes. I clenched my fists and pounced on Tommy. Someone screamed, something fell. Liv tried to stop me. Eve, stop it! He's not worth it! Duckling, Tommy is a fool. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know anything. I sniffed and nodded, but deep down, I knew that Tommy was right. Dad was treating me so coldly because he blamed me for Mom's death. I turned 16 and Liv 19. She graduated from high school a year ago and spent all her free time working as a home cleaner. But recently, my sister applied to college and quit. I was scared. After all, if Liv got in, she would move to another city and I would be left behind with Dad, with silence. But I still supported my sister. I'm sure you'll get in. You're the smartest person I know. Thank you, duckling. Theater became my salvation. The drama club was my refuge. I could be anyone there. A queen, a villain, a girl with 2 living parents. I could put on someone else's life like a costume and forget about my own for a couple of hours. But Dad, our relationship got worse over the years. He didn't yell or punish me. He just acted like I was a stranger. I got 100 points on a test today. Can you imagine?
Yeah, great.
Sometimes I felt like Dad would not notice if I disappeared. But there were good things in my life too. One day, our stage director finally gave me the lead role. I was on cloud 9 and thought my mom would have been proud of me. Next, I had quite a challenge ahead of me. I needed to ask Dad for money to pay for my acting classes in the next semester.
Not this time. Sorry.
But I got the lead role.
I was demoted last month, Eve. Besides, Liv quit and doesn't help out anymore. I don't have any money to waste.
I felt empty inside, but I forgot all about my pain when I noticed the tears streaming down my sister's face. Liv, what's wrong? I received a response from the college. I didn't get in.
I'm still proud of you, sweetie.
Cheer up. You can try again next year. Well, at least I won't have to leave you. I'll get a job and prepare for the entrance exams all year. Liv was so strong. The next day, my sister went back to working. By the end of the week, she handed me an envelope full of money. This is for your acting classes. Liv, thank you. I promise I'll pay you back. Sure thing, duckling. As soon as you become a famous actress. I hugged her like I was afraid of losing her. A few weeks passed. I was at a rehearsal when Dad called me.
Eve, Liv is in the hospital. She fainted at work. Get over here.
He hung up, and my heart sank. Sir, my sister's in the hospital. I need to go.
Stop. Eve, it's almost time for the premiere. You have the lead role. If you leave now, you'll let us all down.
Are you serious?
Choose what is more important to you. If you leave now, don't bother coming back.
I looked at him and couldn't believe that an adult would say something so stupid. Then I threw the script on the ground and stormed out of there. Nothing is worth more to me than my sister. I ran to the hospital. When I arrived, out of breath, Dad was already there. Liv looked pale and fragile, like she would crumble at the slightest touch. What happened?
Liv has emotional exhaustion. Because of that, her immune system was weakened and she fainted. It happened due to chronic stress and excessive workload.
I suddenly realized that I had never seen Liv relax. She took care of us, worked her butt off, and prepared for college. No wonder she was in that state.
She will stay here for some time. After that, she needs to completely change her lifestyle. Or better yet, go on vacation.
The doctor left, giving us a chance to talk. I squeezed my sister's hand. You've always taken care of me. Now it's my turn to grow up. After Dad and I left the ward, I immediately felt that something was wrong. Do you think Liv will be discharged soon? Have they run all the tests they needed? Dad?
Not now, Eve.
I stopped talking. Dad looked like an anger was bubbling inside him and looking for a way out. I had a feeling that if I said even one word, that anger would swallow me whole. The next morning, I came to the cleaning company Liv used to work at and met her boss, Miss Blackwood. The woman looked at me like she was a hungry predator and I was her dinner.
So, you're asking me to hire you instead of your sister?
That's right, ma'am.
If you work as hard as Liv, you're hired.
I nodded without hesitation. The woman pointed at a closet where she kept rubber gloves and all kinds of detergents.
Take everything you need and go to your first house.
I arrived at a huge house with a few other kids working as cleaners. It was a real mansion with marble floors. I scrubbed like my life depended on the results.
Hey, take it easy. If you raise the bar, we'll all have to work as hard as you.
I'm sorry, but I can't lose this job. I need to help my family. We finished late and went to the office to collect our payment. Miss Blackwood handed out the money. I counted the bills and frowned. This isn't right. You promised me more.
The house owners filed a complaint. They said you broke their vase. I deducted the cost from your salary.
I didn't break anything.
Chill. Miss Blackwood scams all newbies like this.
I took a deep breath. Complaining about unfairness would get me nowhere. I needed the money. The next day, I went back to Miss Blackwood's office after school. But all the good clients had already been taken. I got the hardest work and was paid the least.
Well, what did you expect? I have plenty of people working for me. You should have come earlier if you wanted to get better clients.
So I started coming in earlier. To do that, I often had to skip school. I was running around, trying not to fall behind. It was hard, but I had no right to be tired while Liv was in the hospital. One morning, Dad called me into the kitchen. He sounded angry. I walked in and saw him looking at something on Liv's laptop. What is it?
Come here and read this. Now!
I looked at the screen and saw the email Liv received from the college. It turned out my sister had been accepted. Why did Liv lie?
Because she wanted to stay here. To work. To take care of you.
For the first time, Dad lost his temper. His voice was harsh, alien, and laced with malice.
You bring us nothing but trouble. Your mother died because she gave birth to you. Liv got into hospital because she worked herself to the bone for you.
His words were like sharp thorns that dug into my heart. I burst into tears and ran outside. I wanted to call Liv and ask her why she hadn't gone to college, but then I changed my mind. I didn't want to bother my sister. Instead, I sat on the curb and kept crying. Dad was right. My family had always suffered because of me. I decided that I would drop out of school, work around the clock, and save up money so Liv could go on a vacation. After I'd run out of tears, I came to Miss Blackwood's office. I need money. A lot of money. I'm ready to take on any job.
Perfect timing. There is an old warehouse on the outskirts of town that the owner wants to clean up and put up for sale. They will pay very well, but you only have 1 week.
I'll do it. It was only when I arrived at the warehouse that I realized why its owner was ready to pay handsomely. It was huge and dirty. The roof sagged in places. The air smelled of rust and something musty. I got to work. Clouds of dust rose from the ground. I sneezed, and it felt like the whole building shook from the loud sound. It quickly became clear that I would have to work around the clock to clean everything up within a week. I went home to get food and a sleeping bag. When I saw Dad, I told him I would be staying in an abandoned trailer near the old warehouse for a week. That way, I won't need to waste time commuting. Dad snapped at me without even looking in my direction.
Don't come home at all for all I care.
I left in silence. I didn't want to talk back. I cleaned the warehouse during the day and slept in the old trailer at night. It was damp and lonely. By the end of the week, I could barely feel my arms or legs. I was so exhausted I couldn't make myself move fast enough, even though I didn't have much time left. On the eve of the last day, I set the alarm for 5 a.m. I had to get up early to finish on time. I knew I wouldn't be paid a cent otherwise. I was so tired that I immediately passed out. That night, I dreamed of my mother. She looked just like in the photos, and she didn't feel like a ghost. Mom seemed alive. I even recognized her scent because I had smelled it on her blouses before. Mom, I miss you so much. I know, sweetheart, but I'm watching over you. Remember that it wasn't your fault. I really wanted you to be born, and I want you to live, not just survive. Tell Liv the same thing. Mom hugged me tight. Her hands were very warm. There is no greater happiness for a mother than knowing that her children are happy. She kissed me and disappeared. I had a wonderful dream about dolphins in the ocean after that. In the morning, for the first time in a long time, I woke up feeling refreshed. I lay there, staring at the ceiling and remembering my dream. Mom, her voice, her hands, and the strange, warm feeling I got, like it wasn't just a dream. Like Mom had really come to tell me that she was always there. I reached for my phone and my heart sank. Oh no, I overslept! My alarm didn't go off for some reason! I ran to the warehouse, even though I didn't really believe I would be able to finish cleaning up on time. All of a sudden, right as I was about to walk in, I heard a dull crack. Then, a deafening crash. The building folded like a house of cards. Thick dust rose from the ground. The earth shook underneath my feet. I froze and forgot how to breathe from shock. Soon, the dust settled. I came to my senses and called the fire department. They arrived quickly and immediately started to sift through the wreckage.
Apparently one of the beams was too flimsy. When it broke, the warehouse folded like a cardboard box.
I could have been inside when it collapsed.
Well, consider today your second birthday. If you had been inside, let's just say you wouldn't have stood a chance.
I swallowed. I still couldn't believe that I had almost lost my life. Then, a van of a local TV channel arrived, and reporters started to film the wreckage. I went home. All I wanted was to collapse on my bed. When I walked into my living room, Dad was watching the news. When he saw the collapsed building, he even dropped his coffee mug in shock.
No.
Dad?
Eve? My precious girl, you're alive!
Dad sprung up and hugged me so tight I could hardly breathe. He was crying. Weeping, really.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you so much. When I thought that I might have lost you, I realized that I was an idiot. I've blamed you your whole life. That was unfair and cruel.
I started crying too, and then the door opened. Guess who got discharged? What did I miss? I told Dad and Liv about my part-time job in the warehouse, about Mom visiting me in the dream. She told me that we should live and not just survive, and then I overslept. Thanks to that, I wasn't in the warehouse when it collapsed. Dad smiled through tears and patted my head.
It looks like your mom gave you life again.
The three of us hugged, cried, and talked for a long time. Dad finally said what I've been waiting to hear my whole life.
I've been grieving the loss of your mother for far too long. Because of that, I abandoned you. It's my fault Liv had to grow up so fast and sacrifice herself. But I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to be a real father and take care of you.
At that moment, I thought I saw my mother in the corner of the room. She smiled happily when she saw us together. What happened after that? Liv went to college. We all moved to another town to leave all the bad things behind and start over. Do you believe those we've lost are still watching over us?